All right, appreciate everybody being here tonight. We decided we take up most of your Saturday night, so we went a little longer. I hope everybody enjoyed waiting in the Zoom room. But definitely, it was. I thought it was a good work night tonight. I think we got probably around 120 plays. Good work from majority of the guys on the team. You were able to get in all three groups. I thought it was an active scrimmage. I thought all in all, defense, especially the first defense, definitely it'd probably come out ahead if you were sitting there picking a side. But I thought they did a nice job. Just throughout it, there was one drive that I thought the offense had a coming out drive from the minus 3 yard line and was able to drive all the way down. I think it was 20-something plays, 24 play drive. Very impressive. I thought DJ did a great job of operating throughout. Really taking what the defense was giving them. Anytime you have a drive like that, it's exciting to see just the consistency of the plays that showed up, but also making plays in the moment. They're on third and fourth downs. Obviously defensively had a few missed opportunities in that drive, but I thought the first defense did a really nice job throughout the night. There's some few missed tackles that we got to continue to clean up on. A few penalties. Technique things that we can get better at that extended opportunities. But I thought they were very active. What they were able to do. And just disruptive on that side of the ball. So offensively, some good plays. I thought quarterbacks. All in all, I could go back and watch it. I thought they did a really nice job. I thought they were able to locate the ball well. I thought they, when they had to move and evade, I thought they did a good job keeping their eyes down the field. Though there was a couple explosive plays. A couple big touchdowns just from being able to keep plays alive. And being able to locate the ball vertically, and receivers did a nice job of staying alive during those scramble situations. But offensively, still got a lot of work to do. Just especially with some of the younger guys, just a lot of the finer details, alignments. The communication aspect. That's one of the things you always want to see in that first scrimmage. Of when coaches aren't out there, being able to give the reminders, and those guys got to go execute. Just exactly where they are, and there were some good and some young guys that rose up. I thought Elijah Moore had some really nice plays tonight. I thought he kind of stood out in that young group. But then there are obviously a lot of things that we're going to have to get better at in just overall understanding, and just for guys to prove that they're ready to be able to help us here early in their careers. So I thought for the most part, they came out of it pretty healthy. I know some few things that showed up, and we'll see and evaluate where that is as we go to next week. But I thought it was a good work night.
First question will be Chris Nee from Knowles 247.
Good evening, Mike. Was wondering, offensive line, defensive line, what did you take away from them being able to go kind of full bore with pads on?
No, I mean, I thought it was good. There was really good moments on both sides. There were some explosive plays that showed up, but also, like I said, there were some disruptive, moments just from the defensive line. You're creating, push, getting penetration. That's what we need from that group, and something we're accustomed to from that group. And I definitely thought that was a part of it. And we tried to play a good amount of personnel. We limited some guys. Darius, Maurice. Were limited. Offensively, we also had JB and Rob were on kind of a snap count as we were rolling. Obviously Pat, Daryl, and Josh were all kind of the same on the defensive front. So it was really good to get the amount of reps for some new guys, and I thought they were active. And we'll get a chance to get a better sense of it as we watch film and get to the weekend. But just out there on the field, I thought it was a good work day with both sides showing well in certain moments.
To be Ira from Warchain.
When you mentioned the defense had some opportunities to make big plays, was it more the offense gave them opportunities, or were situations where they were creating opportunities by the defense?
No, I mean, I thought they were disruptive and playing in the offensive backfield at times, forcing the quarterback to have to scramble. getting run stopped before they could get started. I thought in all three levels there was some good pass breakups. We like I said, it was a lot of good things. I saw speed. I saw some smart plays that where guys were trusting their eyes, reading their keys, playing fast in it. So it was a good good overall outing from the defensive side of the ball. There were a few big plays that we gave up that we got to get eliminated, and some of those were just when the quarterback was got on the perimeter and was able to extend, just continuing to work on plastering our man, make sure we're staying on that, keeping the integrity of our rush lanes. Those are all things that show up early, and just opportunities to grow for some of those young guys.
Next will be Logan Robinson.
Coach, what do you see from your pass rush this evening during the first scrimmage?
I thought it was good. There was kind of having an open book. As we were sitting there going into been pretty aggressive with our installation. So whether it was blitzing, whether it was different elements that we were doing with our defensive front, I thought they handled it well. I thought they were able to create some pressure. Once again, I'll have to go back and just see specifically the guys that stood out consistently with that. But there were still some things that we got to clean up in rush lanes. But I thought it was good. I thought it was very active. And I also think that the offensive line as it continued to go through the scrimmage, some of those guys settled down. And you did a nice job of being able to respond to some of the early pressures that were given up, whether it was through one-on-one or blitz pickup.
Brandon Snow.
How did Luke do with the scrimmage, and was he live or any of the other quarterbacks live today?
Luke, he was not live. He had his live work there in spring practice, and but I thought he did a really nice job. He was. Got to go back and watch some of the finer details of it, but he operated. He able to have some really good third down conversions. We had a couple of big plays that he was able to make with his arm, and he seemed in control of being out there. So that work from the summer. And really proud of how he's continued to grow through it. When he gets in live situations, he showed really well, and take another step tonight, and I'll get a chance to watch some of the finer details, but just some of the elements of what we put on our quarterbacks, but just out there on the field, it looked like he handled it well.
Go back to Ira.
Coming into camp, I think you talked about wanting to see more consistency from the receivers and see guys kind of step up and raise their game. I guess 9 practices in, are you starting to see that? And how did they look tonight?
There was definitely some good moments, and then we still had a couple of missed opportunities, and a couple of guys that got behind the defense or had a chance to go make a play where we didn't finish a handful of them. Those are opportunities for guys that are trying to establish themselves as somebody that can be in the rotation. I feel good about the group that we have. I feel good about guys that have been performing at a high level. We're trying to get a sense of what's a rotation going to look like? What guys are going to be able to put themselves and earn more opportunities? And so just trying to throw them into different looks and give guys different one-on-ones and just chances to go finish plays. And it was, like I said, there's some good moments, but also some plays that were left out there we're going to get better at.
Next will be Kurt Weiler.
Mike, I don't know. I guess if any of the guys in the secondary too were limited in terms of snap counts. So I guess how did that unit look tonight? And I guess were takeaways something the defense did well, or is it more maybe disruptive in other ways?
And, I thought they were good in their coverage. We had a couple of PBUs. We did have an early interception during basically a red zone type of period that we had. We did have an early interception there, which was great to see. I thought it was good because we really limited. AZ and Ventrell, I think Shy, all those guys were on a limited snap count. So we got to see a lot of those corners. Whether it's Quinn, Edwin, Jabril, Charles Kai, like all of them really rolled in there. And so I thought they did a good job. We had a good balance of press and off and just, but it's really especially for some of the younger guys, it's just the technique that, keeping their hands, hand location where it needs to be, make sure that we're not getting wide. There were a couple of defensive holding penalties that showed up just where I think we can get better. But I mean, I like the group and, they were disruptive, they're at the catch point and had a couple nice plays.
Next will be Aslan.
Coach, it seems like the run game last year was 2 yards, and then maybe like you bust off a 40-yard run. Is it still a explosive big play rushing attack, or do you feel like you're getting more consistency and just consistency from the run game?
That's what we're building towards. And I think that we've got a really good group of running backs. I think we've got a good offensive line that's going to be able to create space and just the mentality of, when we get the ball in our hands, we want to go get 4 or 5 yards, every opportunity that we can. And yes, if we get a chance to break one, I thought there were some great runs where guys, kept their feet running, just that tough nose, mentality in that running back room that, we're going to stay on our tracks. We're going to get all that we can get and, force somebody out to try to tackle us. And, I thought that was a good element to see, when it's live and everybody's trying to, or everybody's getting tackled. But I thought our backs handled it well. And, I'm excited about where our running game can continue to go.
Go back to Lobby.
Coach, you mentioned Elijah Moore in the opening statement there. What is standing out from him? He's a true freshman coming in, and what impressed you specifically from the scrimmage to mention him earlier?
He's just he's finishing plays. He's still got a lot to learn. I think there's a lot that he gets to grow with. In his understanding, but he wants to. And he had a couple of really nice catches tonight. Finishing plays down the field. That's something that we need to see. And he's definitely, the moment's not been too big for him. Like I said, there's still a lot of things that he gets to grow in, just overall understanding. But I mean, he definitely is. He showed up big in these type of situations. We're here early 9 practices in the camp, and you thought he did it again today.
Go back to Ira.
I could 2 for 1 maybe. The first one is this is the first chance to see like Cam Riley and Jacob Rizzi and maybe a couple other guys in their first kind of inside Doak, I guess. Anything stand out from those guys? And then have you given any thought yet to the storm and how that might affect the schedule in the next couple of days?
Yeah, so I'll start with the storm. That's one of the things that we are tracking. We understand that all plans here Monday. We'll see what that ends up playing out to be. Still playing as of this time, heading to Jacksonville there on Tuesday. We'll see what any developments. We've got different options and things that are in place. Depending on how it is playing out, I guess. But we have a lot of precautionary options, just in case of the severity of the storm and the track of which it goes. And then when it comes to the guys' first time in Doak, it's great. There was some nerves, there was some buildup. The kind of things that you want. We tried to create a little bit of an atmosphere. Obviously, being a close scrimmage, but you still when you're in Doak at night. I mean, it's definitely something that these guys they get geared up for. And there was some early nerves, but you saw some. A few procedural issues just with some of the newcomers, that you could tell. I mean, they're jacked up for the first, real live, scrimmage game situation that we're trying to put them in. But then I thought it settled down, and I thought those guys, seemed to do well as the scrimmage progressed. And once again, just a lot of things that when it comes to detail and overall execution, we'll see you here tonight and tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.